ladies and gentlemen, the Clown Show Live, ladies and gentlemen. Talking about Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen. The big YouTuber himself, ladies and gentlemen. The big cheese himself, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, let me tell you something. I mean, how many people we got working here for this show, ladies and gentlemen? And we can never get anything right, ladies and gentlemen. But one thing we can get right, the Clown Show, he plays everybody else's material. He doesn't like his material played, ladies and gentlemen. But guess what? Simon Feck is going to play the clown stuff again tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's a reaction video. It's what it's called, Clownhead. Big idiot.
Why is there a video on YouTube called Cam HASSEL Yapping? What is that about? Cam, do you know that guy? There's a video that says Cam HASSEL Yapping. What is that about? Cam HASSEL Yapping. It's from like a year ago.
Well, it wasn't Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait a minute. Cam busted? Cam busted? What? Ricky, don't, yeah, that Rick, I heard that one too. Ricky, don't lose that number.
See right there.
About Cam yapping.
The clown only sings songs from 1980, ladies and gentlemen.
I told you I'm not a smoker. That's Mila. By the way, Mila, you know that combo we had last night? Never mind. It's gonna act like this.
He's a little baby.
Yeah, I have these good combos, but then the next day she acts like a fucking bitch.
The clown's like a middle schooler.
Like, I don't know, you can't trust her. Like, she changes every night. Like, one day she's cool, and then the next she's like a disaster. Like, what's her deal? She comes in there, she, like, barely talks.
I mean, the clown's a virgin, ladies and gentlemen. The clown is a virgin.
She's not saying anything. Yeah, what is her deal? Her mental life's on the line.
There's Western, ladies and gentlemen.
She's in here like, say what you found in me, and then she leaves, like, no energy. Like, it's like she's not even that late. It's like just past midnight for her.
Yeah, some people have a job.
What's her deal, man?
Yeah, some people don't live off their parents.
They did say she's got histrionic personality disorder.
I thought clowns used to have a job, like with the circus.
I'm starting to realize that she does have something going on.
Unlike the clown, ladies and gentlemen.
One minute she's cool, and then she's like all over the place.
He's a virgin, ladies and gentlemen.
Yapping is pure knowledge. Maybe it's a different Cam HASSEL. What is this thing? Let me see.
We got Crystal, he says. Crystal Miller. Crystal Miller's in here, ladies and gentlemen.
I heard something about Fortnite. That's not Cam. Fortnite.
Crystal's in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Where's Cam? I never can find. Oh, no space. Why is Simon Feck? What is he up to? What's he saying here? Howard Turn. Simon Feck's playing my sound clip.
Not exactly. It's called.
Simon Feck is playing my sound clip of me yelling. He's playing my audio.
Ladies and gentlemen. What a baby he is.
Faggot ass Feck. Doug, don't be talking about me. You're not talking about me, are you? Who are you on about? Simon Feck's a retard. Ark, look up Actually Angel. She's so fine. On YouTube or Kick? YouTube or Kick? Yeah, if Mila's gonna act like this, I'm gonna be looking up different women. I'm not gonna be talking about Mila.
The virgin, the clown virgin. Man, he's a 58-year-old virgin, ladies and gentlemen.
Simon. What this guy doing?
It's called a reaction video.
Why is he playing my audio? What in the hell is this shit? Simon Feck, you're a retard. Stop playing my audio in your videos. Playing my voice in his video.
It's called a reaction video.
Why does he do this?
The clown's nothing but a big turd, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm associated with him. Look, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Like,
Show. Why don't you show us, clown? Your whole audience, clown, your whole audience watches the Simon Feck show. They know everything.
I'm so tired of this fucking guy. He's tagging me with Argenti? I don't want to be tagged with Argenti. Look what this guy's doing.
Well, let's look at it.
This fucking lunatic.
Simon Feck, what's your credits for after taking out loans to produce or to purchase all that shit for production value?
Wait a minute, is this Pewhead? He's typing in his head.
Yeah, somebody just messaged me saying, dude, it's something Feck.
Oh, it is Simon Feck?
No, it's Brandon K.
Why is he playing my audio? Tim's on there. What's Tim on his voice?
You on the gayest fucking shows alive, and then you
What is going on?
I mean, you're never yourself,
This
right?
guy's
Doesn't even
sick.
wear, like,
He's sick on
This guy is sick.
like fucking Moist, he's not saying Moist, there's no low.
It's Anakin.
Imagine, yeah.
Where's the telephone?
Simon Feck,
He just
what's your
sits there.
credits for after taking out loans to produce or to purchase all that shit for production value?
Oh, yeah, I went broke, ladies and gentlemen. Went broke.
He's typing in his head.
Yeah, somebody just messaged me saying, dude, it's something Feck.
It's Brandon K, ladies and gentlemen.
Why not just come in here on Simon Feck? You did it on the other fucking Kiki's fucking thing. You do it on the gayest fucking shows alive, and then you fucking, you can, I mean, you're never yourself, right? You don't even wear, like, a helmet or some gay shit.
Crystal's gonna fit right in, ladies and gentlemen.
On his, me and Argenti and Cam talking. Yeah, I'm Simon Feck. You got me. Come on, guys, you're smarter than that. You know I'm not that fucking creep. How can I be Simon Feck? When I'm live, he's been live.
Oh, the clown knows.
I can't be live at the same time.
Yeah, well,
Be smart.
the clown knows when Simon Feck is live.
Be smart here. Yeah, I'd be a genius if I could pull that off.
Yeah, because he's a smart one, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know what he's doing. He's insane.
Well, no kidding, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, it's my backup channel. Oh, there's on. What is on? Sorry,
Oh, man, this is great.
Mastermind, but unfortunately, I'm not Simon Feck.
Oh, isn't that too bad? He wants to be.
Screaming at roosters.
He wants to be Simon Feck.
Cam, is your video up or not? I'm gonna try to.
Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen. Cam wants to be on the Simon Feck show, ladies and gentlemen. That's true. Cam wants to be on the Simon Feck show, right? And then there's Logan J. Logan J, he's got a bunch of stuff coming up, okay? Logan J, about a month ago, Clown kicked Logan J off of his YouTube channel. And Logan J came over to Simon Feck and wanted to cook the Clown on Simon Feck's live stream, ladies and gentlemen. That's correct. But we'll get to it. And Logan J is saying how low, a bottom feeder that Simon Feck is. The Clown, his whole chat, knows all the characters on the Simon Feck show. They know everything. But they're scared to tell Clown that they watch it, ladies and gentlemen. Cam, come on over to the Simon Feck show, dude. You're on a dead channel over there. Matter of fact, it's really dead. He doesn't even have one, ladies and gentlemen.
See what you were saying on there, and I saw the Simon Feck thing, and I got annoyed.
Listen, that Clown got annoyed. He plays everybody else's stuff, but he got annoyed when somebody played his stuff. The reason I played his stuff was because Brandon K went on there and they were blaming Simon Feck for an hour and 15 minutes. And it wasn't me, it was Brandon K. And Giuliano Argenti was saying that it must be some kind of baby, some childish guy. A non-talented child idiot. And come to find out, it was Brandon K, his best buddy. But it wasn't okay when it was Simon Feck, when he thought it was Simon Feck, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, I want to see what this guy, let me see what Feck was doing on there. Hang on.
I'm not lying. I'm a bird.
Let's see some of this.
Says Crystal Miller, ladies and gentlemen.
Would be a dramatic understatement. To say that this is probably the greatest episode of any.
Wait, who's this guy?
Ever.
Who's this guy he's got on there? Who's this guy?
He's called the Champ Clown. He's called the Champ Clown. That's who he is, ladies and gentlemen.
Now, last night we had probably one of the most memorable UFC events in history in a place called Perth in Australia. Now, we actually have someone from Australia on the show today, and he'll confirm this, but
Ladies and gentlemen, Crystal Miller just ran out of one-liners, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, yeah. Crystal Miller just ran out of one-liners, ladies and gentlemen. If anybody could feed Crystal some lines, please do so, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And then we'll get her a playlist, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do some shorts for Crystal Miller, ladies and gentlemen. That's it.
I believe Australia is a small island off the coast of Hawaii. I'm surprised there's enough people there to fill the stadium.
Wait a minute. Someone told me Doug Memo had sex with the liar. What?
This guy, the Clown, he's such a virgin. He's a 58-year-old virgin, and the reason he's 58 years old, he only sings songs from 1982, 3, 4, and 5, maybe 6. He only sings songs in the 80s. He's 56 or 58 years old. And how do I know that? My older cousin sings all the same stupid songs that the Clown sings. But my cousin doesn't live with his parents, ladies and gentlemen, like the Clown. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa. Doug and Giuliano had gay sex?
ladies and gentlemen, Crystal Miller, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Crystal Miller is funnier than the Clown Show Live, ladies and gentlemen. The Clown Show Live sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen. Crystal Miller is funnier than Ark, the clown that lives with his parents, and he's 58 years old, ladies and gentlemen. Lives on a farm in Little Cock, Arkansas. You know why? Because he's got a little cock, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. There you go, Crystal. We got a short for you right there. That's it.
See, now, even I can't go that far. I can't see that. I can't see, like, you know, Doug and Giuliano fucking. That might be a little extreme there. That's a little much for even for me.
The clown says that's pretty extreme. Western just says don't call Crystal a lady. You know, she's a gentleman. And even the clown from the Clown Show Live that lives in Little Cock, Arkansas, thinks that that's a little extreme, ladies and gentlemen. Crystal, she's a gentleman, ladies and gentlemen. There's another short for you right there, Crystal.
Now, again, I don't know who this guy is. Who's this guy? Who would go on a sign? I have no idea. The guy is claiming.
The guy? You're talking about Crystal Miller? The clown's talking about Crystal Miller? She's like one of the boys, huh? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Crystal Miller's like one of the boys, and the clown just confirmed it, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because the clown is from Little Cock, Arkansas. You know, because he has a little cock, ladies and gentlemen.
It's like torn up on the inside. I've said it once again. Simon Feck is bottom of the barrel.
There he is, right there, Logan J. You're saying that Simon Feck is bottom of the barrel, okay? You were wanting to come on the Simon Feck show a month ago, and I was going to give you a platform to cook the clown. And you pussied out, you big pussy. And now you're in there saying shit about me right now. Please, Logan J, keep saying shit about me. It only helps me out, you big dickhead. Cocksucker.
You gotta see the guest he has on. Alright, let's see let me skim ahead. I'm just gonna look at this real quick.
And then was it?
Yeah, I think so. We treated like a draw.
They should have done what they did with the Jeff Neal fight and just continued the fight anyway.
My God, this is so boring.
You know what another thing is boring, Mr. Clown? The Ark himself? Is raising the breathing of Simon Feck 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Simon Feck 1 foot cock does not live in Little Cock, Arkansas, like Ark, the Clown Show Live guy. Ark doesn't even have any balls, ladies and gentlemen. He doesn't have any balls at all. He's been hiding for 8 years, ladies and gentlemen. And you're right, Western. You're right, Western. It's raising my breathing, ladies and gentlemen. You guys are a riot in here, that's right.
It's bad. I mean, this is just boring fight talk. What are we doing here? Neil Magny.
Sorry, fuck. Yes, I did.
It's great later on. The clown's always said bad stuff about Simon Feck, right? Never said anything good. So he sees a little bit different of a format. And then he says, Simon Feck should have kept what he had before. You know, he had something. The clown never gives a compliment to anybody. But he did right there. He slipped, ladies and gentlemen. You know why he slipped? Because, he lives with his parents, ladies and gentlemen. He's not smart enough to live on his own. He's a 58-year-old virgin that lives with his parents on a rooster farm, ladies and gentlemen. There isn't even chickens there, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? A 58-year-old man living with his parents. Virgin, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my God.
Feck's not even talking on his own show.
They had to do it because it was the one place where they could fight without needles in a 20 square foot.
Now, you're talking about an OnlyFans site right there, ladies and gentlemen. Rocky and Paulie and his sister Adrian, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's hot, ladies and gentlemen. That's some real Kensington stuff there. That's some stuff that Joe Piper at UFC 320 would sink his teeth into, ladies and gentlemen.
Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Yeah, Joe Piper, stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Rocky wants to get with Adrian and Paulie at the same time. I mean, that's your people there, Joe Piper.
What is
By the way, Joe Piper stuffed the invite of a certain person that I know that we're not going to mention right now.
What did he do?
Well, he stuffed UFC 320 on an invitation from a certain friend of mine that we are not going to mention, okay? Yeah, so Simon Feck left that one vague on that video. What was that, last Sunday or something like that? Simon Feck was supposed to be somewhere this Saturday night, ladies and gentlemen. As a matter of fact, he was supposed to be somewhere tonight, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, here he is. You know, but anyways, the clown himself, the big bad boy himself, doesn't like when people play his videos. He plays other people's videos. Ladies and gentlemen, where did my chat go, ladies and gentlemen?
Let's get back to Rocky.
Yo, Polo, that ain't us no more, you know?
Oh, God, this is awful. This is awful content. This show's terrible.
Simon Feck sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, I'm
Not
kinda,
literally.
You know, a little let down because I thought Feck kind of had a character, and this is not it, man. He's got these guys on, and they're boring, and he's like, we're talking about Rocky fucking 8. What is this? I mean, what are we doing here? This is not good. Cam's better. Yeah, I agree. Cam must have had a better show. This is bad.
Well, the thing is, right? It's an hour-and-a-half show every Sunday, okay? And there's a theme to it. You know, you got to start at the beginning and go through the stupid thing, okay? You can't just pick right into it and talk about being boring. I mean, he's a one-trick pony, the clown. I mean, he's a one-trick pony, you know, from Little Cock, Arkansas, ladies and gentlemen. And he's got a little cock. That's his trick. And he's a virgin, ladies and gentlemen. A 58-year-old virgin that lives with his parents. On property. But anyways, just keep talking about Simon Feck, you know. I mean, pretty soon we're going to be like 5 high viewers one day, ladies and gentlemen. And then later on, the clown's going to say, you know, Simon Feck hasn't done anything, okay? Simon Feck has a bigger channel somewhere else. And if you pay attention to the show, you would know that. This is just to cook people. I got a bigger channel somewhere else. That's what the mask is for, you big stupid dummy.
Feck's lost control. He had like a demented kind of thing going. Now he's lost control of it.
There he is. He's handing out compliments, which he never did before. And the only reason he's handing out compliments is because he's going to tear or try to tear Simon Feck down here in a second. It's crazy. I mean, that's his gimmick, right? You know? Oh, he's 58.
No, it's actually worse now. Like, at least when he was by himself, he had a character, he was in control of it. Now he's like kind of simping to these these other guys, and he's lost control. Like, he can't even, like, be his own gimmick anymore. He's trying to, like, you know, have these guys speak for him. Like, I don't...
Oh, yeah, I'm having people speak for me. That's a stupid statement. You know what kind of statement that comes from? It comes from a guy that beats his own, he beats his own rooster, ladies and gentlemen. And you know who told us that? Giuliano Argenti, or whatever his stupid name is. Told everybody that the clown beats his rooster, ladies and gentlemen. And we're not talking about, just because he lives in Little Cock, Arkansas and has a little cock. We're talking about a rooster, ladies and gentlemen. He's beating his rooster, ladies and gentlemen. And that came in from Crystal Miller herself, ladies and gentlemen. She's our correspondent, ladies and gentlemen. Out there in the trenches getting all the good news, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Stop beating your rooster. Listen to me, clown. Ark. People don't like it when you beat your own rooster, clown. Probably beating his rooster because he's got a little cock. Ladies and gentlemen.
What was that?
You know what? I'm telling you, we have a better impersonator on this show than MMA Guru has on his stupid show. Yeah. And I'm not lying to you. The only difference between our impersonator and MMA Guru's impersonator is two things. One, our impersonator sounds exactly like the person that he's impersonating.
You guys ever seen the bit where Rambo is crying and he's like talking about his friend? He's like lost his legs.
I really don't. Who's this Shant guy? Who's this like gap-toothed faggot that laughs at everything Feck does? I don't understand who this guy is.
Oh.
Like, he's got this.
So he's talking about the champ there, right? Who's the champ? And then Logan J comes in with, in the comments, it comes in with, oh yeah, and you got to see the guest that comes on called the Ash. We don't have a guy named the Ash. We have a guy who is an impressionist, who does impressions. He's never come on as himself. He comes on as people. He comes on as the Ash. He's doing an impression of a guy that's famous. Logan J. Logan J, what's wrong with your brain, dude? He has a guest that comes on. His name is the Ash. It doesn't make a bit of sense. He's impersonating the Ash. You big ass, Logan J. Why don't you tell your little buddy, your buddy Clown, Logan J. Why don't you tell him that you're wanting to come on the Simon Feck show, and then cook his ass because he kicked you out. Then you went crawling back to him, and now you got to put Simon Feck down. Because you're too scared to tell the clown that Simon Feck is a better YouTuber than him. And you know how I know that? He's not on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a dead channel somewhere else, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen.
Gap-toothed fucking let's go champ guy on there that just laughs at everything he says that's dumb? Like his puppet? Yeah, you're gonna laugh at everything I say, okay? Like, this is pathetic.
So, supposedly the clown didn't know that all this was going on, right? Yet he knows what's going on. He loves it. Everybody loves when Simon Feck does an impersonation of him or talks about him. I got people in my DMs asking me to do it, for them. Okay? Can't I do it just because I hate somebody? I gotta do it because they want me to do it. That's not how it works, ladies and gentlemen. The MMA Holes is in here, ladies and gentlemen.
I've actually got his lab guy. Did he hire this guy? I mean, what is this? The same thing. No, I mean, like with me, at least I, fucking built something. What does he build? What does Feck ever build?
Well, according to the MMA Holes, the MMA Holes doesn't know who he is, ladies and gentlemen. That clown doesn't know who Simon Feck is either, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look at that statement right there from Moss, from the MMA Holes, ladies and gentlemen. The guy that cries, ladies and gentlemen, watching the movie Pinocchio, ladies and gentlemen. You know? And nobody's heard of the clown either, ladies and gentlemen. That's how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen.
I built a community.
Vietnam, and he's like,
Figures.
The clown says he's built a community. That's what he's done. He's built a community. What a lovable community that community is, ladies and gentlemen. Why don't you be more like Moss? Moss from the MMA Holes, ladies and gentlemen. Moss invented the internet and then later on invented MMA YouTubing, ladies and gentlemen. You know, like companion stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Unlike the clown doesn't know what a companion is, ladies and gentlemen. Except for if you count a rooster or two, ladies and gentlemen, and maybe a goat or two. I heard the clown try to horse one time, ladies and gentlemen. But he's just a clown from Little Cock, Arkansas with a little cock, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and that'll put a spike, that'll put like a day or two spike in the wood claw. Yeah.
Deal in the details, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, Crystal.
Oh, God.
His coach, his best friend.
Oh, God. Okay, enough. I don't know. I gave it a shot. This is awful.
That's right. The Simon Feck material is awful, ladies and gentlemen. It's meant to be awful, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I mean, we can't be polished. We can't be polished like Moyes from the MMA Holes, ladies and gentlemen. We can't be good like MMA Joey, ladies and gentlemen, or MMA Guru, ladies and gentlemen. And God forbid, we'll never be as polished as the Clown Show, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you're shooting for too high of heights right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I mean, what are they?
And my driver's license.
and your job.
So we're gonna get that.
The double eye emoji, ladies and gentlemen. Watch out, Giuliano, Argenti, or whatever your name is. The double eye emoji was just sent your way from Western, ladies and gentlemen. The double eye emoji, ladies and gentlemen. The double eye emoji, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, the double eye emoji, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know who else likes the double eye emoji? Ladies and gentlemen, Laura Sanko. Laura Sanko loves the double eye emoji too, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Ladies and gentlemen, let me straighten her neck out, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, right there, Laura Sanko is hot, ladies. Listen to me. Laura Sanko is hot, ladies and gentlemen. She likes to drink beer, ladies and gentlemen, and wear a bathing suit. And in Denver, in the middle of a snowstorm, ladies and gentlemen. Now sit down, bitch. Let's go.
Listen here. So Simon Feck has a whole board. There's probably 35 things to talk about. We haven't talked about any of them on this show. I'll just save them for next week.
Well, let's squeeze in something, Will.
Also, single-handedly crushed pay-per-views. I'm added to my resume.
He only got 53 views.
That's right.
He hasn't been built up better than that by now.
See that? Right there, the clown points out that Simon Feck had 53 views, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he's seeing brighter days, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck, 53 views. And then in walks Moss from the MMA Holes, ladies and gentlemen. Moss from the MMA Holes walks in and he says, hey, I have done more than 1 million view live streams, ladies and gentlemen. Moss has had 1 million view live streams, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that's really nothing to brag about, ladies and gentlemen. When you reach 5 million view live streams, ladies and gentlemen, Moss. And then you can go around bragging, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, Moss is the best YouTuber there is, ladies and gentlemen. I got paid to say that.
My God, dude, I don't know.
Crystal smiling, ladies
There
and
you go,
gentlemen.
Simon Feck, his dead show.
That was an impression right there, ladies and gentlemen. Has anybody ever did an impression of you? Well, guess what? Right there, the famous clown, ladies and gentlemen, did an impression of Simon Feck 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. And you know why the clown can do a great impression of Simon Feck 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen? Because he lives on his parents' rooster farm, ladies and gentlemen. He's a 58-year-old virgin that pays attention to roosters, ladies and gentlemen. He loves the rooster's tail feathers, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? The clown, Orky, or whatever his stupid name is. He loves the tail feather of a rooster, ladies and gentlemen. Don't you forget that, ladies and gentlemen. The clown goes around. He's chasing them roosters around the farm, ladies and gentlemen. He's a virgin to women, ladies and gentlemen. Just remember that. And just listen to what I'm saying right now. The clown is a virgin to women, ladies and gentlemen.
They seem awful. I know, they're really weird. Champ is his caregiver. You gotta see his guest, the Ash. I don't even know who that is.
See right there, that's Logan J. He's talking about the Ash like it's a guy on the show. It's an impersonation of the Ash. It's so stupid. And Logan J, why were you so afraid to come on? Logan J asked me the night before, then he comes in the stream. He comes in, he's about ready to go on stage, and then he bailed. Scared to cook the clown. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Anyways, I don't care, Logan J. Come on the show. Come on, buddy. Let's go. Woo.
These are nice sleep meds. Hank passing out. Make sure Feck takes his meds.
By the way, Western, this lamp is almost 1 year old. and the light bulb has not, failed yet. It's still the same light bulb almost 1 year later, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah! It's incredible. I mean, this light bulb, somebody needs to sponsor us.
Did Giuliano go live? Let me see.
And then him and Giuliano have a falling out, right? And those two guys, they can't stop talking about each other. It's like they're hooked at the hip. Well, they probably are, ladies and gentlemen. Laura Sanko definitely knows you're sweet on her. That's right. So Western says, Laura Sanko definitely knows you're sweet on her. That's right. Hey, Laura Sanko, the hottest chick in the UFC Apex, ladies and gentlemen. Laura Sanko, look at this face right here, Laura Sanko. Look at this face right here. And you married that guy with the huge farm and all the money and everything, ladies and gentlemen. Look what you're missing right here, Laura Sanko. Right here. Simon Feck. Simon Feck will drop everything. Just like the clown will drop anything for anything, Simon Feck will drop what he's got going on right now, ladies and gentlemen, for Laura Sanko, ladies and gentlemen. Just take a good look at this, Laura, because it might not be waiting around forever, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, ladies and gentlemen.
It reflects even worse on whatever sad sap gets the deserved actually sitting up there on his sorry excuse for a show like it's a thing to do. At least Simon Feck knows better to wear a mask at least. This off-brand JBD looking nigga played the fuck out himself, face, family, bloodline, physical identity, because ain't no coming back after that fam cooked. What?
What do you mean, what? Laura Sanko's probably watching right now with double eye emojis, ladies and gentlemen. Says Western. That's right. Let's check it out. Listen here, Laura Sanko. Laura Sanko be looking at Simon Feck like this. Wait a minute. Laura Sanko's looking at Simon Feck like this with a double eye emoji, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Laura Sanko. You know you're thinking about me all the time, Laura Sanko. Thinking about you could probably have Simon Feck 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. You just can't stop thinking about Simon Feck 1 foot cock. Looking at Simon Feck's videos, ladies and gentlemen, with the big double eye emojis, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Ladies and gentlemen. I mean, take a good look at Laura Sanko, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, that bitch is hot right there, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
The fuck's that about, Memo? What the hell are you on about? Yo, are you on drugs, bro? Hey, I know about Memo. He said fucking steals cars and fucking sells drugs. Oh, wait, I didn't tell you that, clown. Don't tell anybody I said that. I imagine, like, he's like, yo, man, fuck you tell clown about me. Wait, Douglas, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Simon Feck has a 1 foot beak, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, look at that beak. Laura Sanko, look at that beak on that bird right there, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck has a 1 foot beak, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Pretty soon I'll be known as Simon Feck, the 1 foot beak, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to have to drop the 1 foot cock, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. What do we got? What do we got?
Yo, you tell clown that I steal cars? I sell drugs? I mean, no, Douglas, I wouldn't do that. Come on, you know, like, I can't, man. I wouldn't do it. Yo, bro, I'll come see you. I'm gonna come see you, man.
Western says Laura Sanko's a hot bird, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, please, no, Doug, you don't want that, Doug, no, Doug, come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Western also thinks that Laura Sanko's hot. Listen, Laura Sanko, you got a bunch of fans over here on the Simon Feck show. You need to come on to Simon Feck. Listen to me, Laura Sanko. You got to come on to Simon Feck show. You hear me? That should get her on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
I was gonna grade Cam's performance.
Cam's gonna be on the Simon Feck show before you know it, ladies and gentlemen.
Don't come on here, Dad, please. Don't beat my ass, Dad.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on down.
Ladies and gentlemen, Western comes in. Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's a hard story to tell, ladies and gentlemen. I haven't told it yet, ladies and gentlemen. But Western asked, what chick would want a 1-foot cock, ladies and gentlemen? Now, Western spelled it wrong, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? When Simon Feck was, when he was flying down the road, ladies and gentlemen, Simon Feck was it was like 3 lanes this way and 3 lanes going the other way. An interstate, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck was flying, and I mean flying down the road, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And then I just decided to, go left. And when I went left, there was a whole bunch of traffic coming the other way, and I was flying too low, ladies and gentlemen, and it clipped my leg. It got caught on a windshield wiper, ladies and gentlemen, and just tore my leg off, ladies and gentlemen. So, my friends started calling me, one-legged cock, and then somebody just said, 1-foot cock, ladies and gentlemen, because I only got 1 foot, ladies and gentlemen. There you go, ladies and gentlemen.
Please, we're friends. Don't beat my ass, Doug. Don't beat me up. Like Harley, I'll pay you off. Come on, Doug.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I know what I did. Misspelled it. I always do that. I always put the E in there. I don't know. Cam Hassel. All right. Did you?
Well, when you're a big stupid head, an uneducated stupid head from Little Cock, Arkansas, you're gonna misspell Cam Hassel. I mean, it is a difficult name, ladies and gentlemen. Even a bird brain like Simon Feck could figure out how to spell Cam Hassel, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to. We got something else coming in from Western, ladies and gentlemen. I saw a raven fly upside down when 2 crows were attacking him. He went upside down to use his little talons for defense. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, Simon Feck being a black crow, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, it's a rough world out there, ladies and gentlemen. Simon Feck, listen. Simon Feck chases flamingos, ladies and gentlemen. You know why? Because their knees are backwards, ladies and gentlemen. And when they're down there doing their deed, ladies and gentlemen, their stupid knees aren't in the way. They can get closer, ladies and gentlemen. Because Simon Feck, 1-foot cock, needs them close, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. What do we got here? Didn't know ravens could fly upside down.
Yeah, 2 days ago. Let me count.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Let me grade Cam's live stream.
Yeah, I know. Listen. Now, listen, Western. Sometimes a story is better when you don't give all the information out, ladies and gentlemen. You know? Okay? Like this, okay? Hummingbirds don't have knees, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. And then a hummingbird can't shuffle its feet like this. When a hummingbird lands, it can't jump to the left and jump to the right, ladies and gentlemen. Like walk. I mean, like. Yeah, hummingbirds are a little bit different, ladies and gentlemen. Even though I was born a bird, ladies and gentlemen, I try not to associate with them, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. But anyways, I want to say thanks to Crystal Miller, ladies and gentlemen, and Western, ladies and gentlemen. There's still more of this video, but I don't feel like doing it. You know why? Because the rest of it's basically Cam Hassel, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Hassel, let me tell you something with your video that I watched. Cam Hassel, you're a better second person, ladies and gentlemen. Come on to Simon Feck Show, ladies and gentlemen. Cam Hassel. Now let's try to figure out what he says here. Crystal is SW. Simon Feck's got a little bird brain. Crystal is SW. All right, ladies and gentlemen. The stupid clown show. The clown show sucks balls, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. The clown show, ladies and gentlemen. The clown show sucks some serious balls, ladies and gentlemen. Now listen to me. Listen to me. Right here. Let me get in closer.